This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol, live. It's a freaking Sunday. It's also National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So I wore a outfit that I feel is appropriate. The government protecting and serving the shit out of you. I've seen a lot of bad news today. AOC has COVID. That might be what you're referring to. There's an apartment fire in the Bronx that killed 16 people. All kinds of shit going on. I saw that AOC had COVID like as I was getting ready to come on, and that kind of bummed me out. Oh no! No! How you gotta hit me with that? Oh god! And this is in the last few minutes. Iconic comedian Bob Saget has died at a Orlando hotel. Goddamn. Huge Bob Saget fan. Saget died Sunday at the Ritz-Carlton, according to the police. The cause of death has not been announced, but foul play or drug use is not immediately suspected. The fucking drug use is Danny Tanner from Full House. America's Dad, a very vulgar stand-up comedian. You see a Schmeagle and you fuck it. Fuck, loved him. Loved his stand-up comedy. Loved his whole thing with John Stamos on Instagram. How they're always like getting gay with each other. So he was just on a morning show on Monday. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says they were called to the Ritz-Carlton, Orlando, for a call about an unresponsive man in a hotel. The man was identified as Robert Saget, pronounced dead on the scene. Detectives found no signs of foul play or drug use. I mean, drug use would have been, because he had a recurring role on Entourage, and every time he popped up on Entourage, like he was banging young girls, and he was doing lots of blow. It's just like I love that it was in such stark contrast to the character on Full House. And I watched the first couple episodes of the Fuller House reboot. I grew up right around that time. That fucking show was the biggest show on fucking TV when I was growing up. Well, fuck. I was going to make fun of cops to start off the show, and now you bummed me out about Bob Saget. And it is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So I spent the day trolling lawmakers. So, like, for instance, Rand Paul posted about loving cops. And I pointed out that the cops in Louisville, Kentucky, where Rand Paul is the senator, were raping kids, and the whole department covered it up. Fucking, my senator posted about his love of cops, and I posted about how 1,000 black men were framed here in the Alabama police system. I would like to take this time on National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day to say that I appreciate COVID for the one good thing it's done, which has been be the number one cause of death for cops. Oh, you just look at this motherfucker right here. You know he was a freedom motherfucker that didn't take the vaccine. Just look at him. Just look at him. And it's hilarious them being a freedom motherfucker when they're literally locking people up. Do I have a meme? Yes, I got a meme. Let me throw a meme at you. Was I a good cop? No, but you are now. Because the only good cop. Sorry. Bob Saget would have loved that segment. Dedicated to you, Bob. Now here, let me laugh at this motherfucker too. I love laughing at the sentimental posts about cops. What are we talking about tonight? We're going to talk about how Elon Musk is a fucking idiot and his Hyperloop is really stupid. And we've got video of it fucking up. Candace Owens claims that the metaverse, I guess that is Facebook's new virtual reality thing. It's kind of like PlayStation Home from the PS3, as I'm told. It's like the same kind of graphics, I've heard. Apparently, Candace Owens took a trip to the metaverse. Yes, Warlord, we're going to get to the NYPD. Multiple stories about the NYPD tonight. But apparently, the metaverse is creating transhumans, according to Candace Owens. Now, every American needs to hear this. God has already won. This is according to Benny Johnson. Barry Weiss went on CNN, had a whole argument with Brian Stelter about how apparently the world is going mad. Mark Levin compares the Trump administration to the Biden administration. I'm sure that is going to give us lots of chuckles. The January 6th committee wants to talk to former Vice President Mike Pence. Guess we're going to start off tonight with a call. Oh, fuck. I didn't know I had the right-wingers and morons thing. Caller, you're on the Troll Patrol. What's going on?
Hello. Is this Justin?
This is Justin.
My name is Josh Overton from YouTube Analytics. How are you doing today, sir?
You didn't have to tell me your name, Josh.
Okay, well, I just need to call you to say that we have two serious issues. Okay, now this is serious issues now.
Okay, hit me with it. I can't wait.
This is not a laughing matter. Okay. First is your use of narcotics on the show. And that's a serious illegal offense. You do realize that.
What narcotics do I use on the show?
I think weed, and I've heard methamphetamine, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. Other way, I will have to be informing law enforcement.
Well, that's not. Hold on. That's not true. I get accused of that a lot, but like I don't like uppers. I only like downers.
You kind of look like you take methamphetamine. No offense, sir.
Hold on. I naturally bounce off the walls. There's no use for methamphetamine. I actually like shit that brings me down.
Wait, you take? I'm gonna ignore the prostitution that you just admitted to, but
wait, whoa! What prostitution?
You said something about I take girls off the walls.
No, you are misquoting me.
Inappropriate for business discussion.
Okay,
well, our second issue.
This is all on tape.
Your ratings. The second problem, let me speak, sir, is your ratings. Now that's a serious issue now.
What do you mean?
You're currently at one viewer on your live stream, right?
No, I am not.
Well,
I am not.
Well, I'm from YouTube, and that's what
maybe on YouTube. Maybe there is one viewer on YouTube. You see, you guys banned me. I haven't been on YouTube until the start of the year after all my copyright strikes went off my channel. Not copyright, misinformation because of what Trump said and what
Now, there's no misinformation, sir. Everything
Marjorie Taylor Greene said.
We don't just ban people out of nowhere.
Okay.
We have good communication with you.
Hold on. Well, no. I've got a lot of issues with the YouTube's communication. But I was banned because of Trump. I played his September 11th, whatever you want to call it, with the fire department. And he's like, I won the election, the Democrats cheated, and I got fucking banned for that.
Wait, hold on. Do not talk about Trump like that.
Why not?
Do not talk about him like that. This is not a political discussion.
I'm just stating the facts of what happened.
Well, sir, no matter what happened, or you claim happened, I may
No,
have
no,
to
no, no,
inform-
no, 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 no. So the second issue is my ratings, but you guys have you've only been letting me broadcast free and clear for like a few days now.
Listen, do not talk to me like that. Do you hear me?
I'll talk to you any goddamn way I want to. This is America, pal. I'm free. You ain't got no authority over me.
Yes, I do, sir. I can ban you right now if I want to.
Do it! Do it! I dare you! I dare you! Do it! You got the COVID?
I might have the COVID, but
Are you vaccinated?
yes, sir, I am.
Okay, good on
Matter
you.
of fact,
Good on you. Okay, cool.
I'm not an idiot, sir. I am vaccinated.
Good. We're not idiots around here. I hope it's a very mild case if you do have the COVID. I hope you recover quickly.
I appreciate that, but I am going to have to take this information to higher ups.
You're going to have to escalate.
You're
Okay.
clear.
Can I ask you,
the
my
methamphetamine use is unacceptable.
My-
on
my
our
friend-
platform.
my-
we don't do that. Violence, none of that. All right.
can you Google ABC Company? That's who you represent, right? ABC Company?
ABC, no,
That's the parent company of Google, YouTube, and all that shit.
that is not true.
It is true. So I think I've just caught you up. Like
it
somebody
is
who
not
worked for YouTube would know that the parent company is called ABC Company. That's literally the name of it.
I have no words.
You pick up your
For this
phone.
right here.
I want you to use Google right now and Google the name of Google's parent company and tell me what it says. Alphabet Company. Okay, I'm sorry. I call it ABC Company. Alphabet Company.
That's still not true.
It is true.
Put a stick in my ass.
Put a fork in you, you're done, is what it sounds like. All right, sir.
You're getting me really angry here.
And I wouldn't like you when you're angry, right?
I am your worst nightmare.
What you gonna do, brother?
I'm gonna ban you, Hulk Hogan.
I dare you. Do it right now. I am free and
I'm
clear.
not even
I am
you
free
got
and
nobody
clear.
watching.
I don't even have a warning on my YouTube. I'm good to go. There is nothing that you can ban me for.
There's nothing I can ban you for.
Mm-mm.
Well, then I'll just have to inform law enforcement of your methamphetamine and weed usage.
I do not use
Well,
methamphetamine.
Sorry for the street slang.
I do you, what state am I sitting
What's
in?
that?
Is this legal in my state?
You were sitting in New York City, sir. I'm pretty sure.
New
that's
York
illegal.
City.
At least that's what your caller ID says.
Well, it's legal in New York. Then why? What are you talking about?
Well, the meth-
this is not
you're
an
telling me the
illicit drug. I don't do meth.
Methamphetamine is not legal anywhere, sir.
I don't do meth. And I
Do not
definitely,
raise your voice with me.
if I did meth, if I happened to
not
have,
raise your
if I
voice
happened to
with me.
have a tutor and a piece of welding glass in my desk to do meth off of, I certainly wouldn't do it here on the Troll Patrol. I would.
All right, well, this is getting extremely violent towards me. I feel threatened.
Violent. How is it violent towards you?
Calm down, sir. Okay? Okay, take a deep breath. And out. Look, all we're asking you to do is to not do that stuff on the air. That's not what our platform is about. Do you hear me?
I
Are
think
you
it
there,
is.
sir?
I think it is.
No, we don't.
Tommy
do
fucking
wise
John's
on
got a
here? No, we
channel
don't.
on there, doesn't he? Snoop Dogg's got a channel.
Well, he only smokes weed, sir.
I'm only smoking weed.
And he's a celebrity.
Oh, you saying I'm not a celebrity?
No, you're not.
Then why you bothering with me?
Because you are a threat to our channel. We could get sued for stuff like this.
How am I a threat to your channel? What could somebody sue over?
I'm sorry, our platform. But
Do you
your
know what
channel is
Section
a threat.
230 is?
230 what now?
Section 230. You can't get sued over anything I do.
Section 230.
Section 230. It's been in the news for quite some time. You don't know what Section 230 is. That's what protects platforms from being able to be sued in court for what a person is doing on their channel. You have no clue what you're talking about. You must be a right-winger. Are you?
No, sir, I'm not. But
Who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for in 2020?
I am feeling very threatened.
Who'd you vote for in 2020?
2020?
Yeah, 2020. Who'd you vote for?
Bernie Sanders, sir.
In the oh, hell yeah. But who'd you vote for in the general election?
What do you mean? Oh, Joe Biden.
Okay. Fine. All right. I'm sorry I called you.
I'm just saying, don't do none of that stuff on the air no more, and we won't have no problem. But I've gotten reports.
Did you just turn on my Google Home?
We've had to shadow ban you temporarily.
Shadow ban me.
Don't pay attention. Don't pay attention to the Google Home.
Well, now, okay. So, what's it doing over there? Because it's been acting weird here lately.
It's doing nothing. Do not pay attention to that.
Okay, so will you go? There are people that go to my YouTube comments and like almost every day are like, haha, you've got no views. Will you go there and tell them that, hey, I'm the YouTube analytics guy and I shadow banned him and that's why he doesn't have any views?
I'm not authorized to do that.
And that they should actually share my video out in order to stick it to big tech.
I should really delete this channel.
Oh, I dare you. I dare you. Delete my channel. You know I'm on.
The video is
I'm on
Guppy's intro.
You know I'm on Facebook. You know I'm on Twitch. You know I'm on like D Live, Vaughn TV. I'm everywhere. You can't get away from me.
And yet you have 0 viewers.
And this clip's going to be on BitChute. It's going to be on Rumble. It's going to be on Odyssey. Like, YouTube don't hurt me. YouTube don't hurt me. There is not one viewer. Maybe on YouTube there's one viewer because you shadow banned me.
Maybe I shouldn't have came out and said that, sir. So I'm going to have to terminate the call.
No. Don't go away. Like, I want you to inform the people that are always riding my balls about how few viewers I have that you shadow ban me. And that's the whole reason why I have such few viewers.
When did I ever say that you were shadow banned?
It's on tape. I'm recording this shit.
You
delete the channel and the video still exists every fucking where.
Okay, well, you do what you got to do. I don't know what you're talking about, how I said you're shadow banned.
So you haven't even watched the show. You don't know what we do here on the show?
I have better things to do, sir. I'm going to have to cut you off. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Just keep the drug usage down. I don't want to hear another complaint.
Okay. Who complained to you? Will you let me know? I have a right to confront my accuser.
Well, I could send you the information over email.
I would enjoy that. Would you please do that for me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. You got all my email addresses, right? Because they're Gmail.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to send it to?
Well, I'll send it to several.
Well, you know the one I use in public, so please say that one for me. Which one am I going to use? Mr. Google Man?
I don't know. That's somebody else's job. All I'm doing, I'm the call guy. Okay.
Well,
let you go.
I appreciate it. Do you do drugs?
Do I do drugs?
Yeah. Do you like pot?
No.
Do you do any methamphetamine?
No.
Any cocaine?
Well, I did sniff a line a few minutes ago. No, I do not do cocaine.
I do not freebase cocaine.
All right. Well, this is getting erratic.
It's a show called The Troll. It's a show called The Troll Patrol. What did you expect?
This conversation is getting real bizarre, sir. I will not take off my pants. No, you may not.
Well, I thank you for calling in, Mr. Google Man. Please, please don't. I promise.
YouTube analytics.
I promise I won't do as many drugs as I usually do on air.
You will not do any. You will not do any.
I can't make that promise. I'm not high enough for this shit.
You're not gonna be high at all. Goodbye. No, I know that you're not. I have a heroin spoon right here in the background.
That was a bong bubbling in the background.
We don't. Now heroin. Now methamphetamine is one, but heroin too.
No heroin.
we've got a whole bigger issue here.
Thank you, Mr. YouTube Analytics guy. I appreciate it. I'll even rate the quality of the call as good. Oh shit, that was fun. We didn't even get to anything yet. I was still running down what we were going to talk about on the show. I missed a number of calls last week, and if that was the call that I missed last week, and they have been faithfully calling in for like 3 nights straight, I appreciate you doing that. That was a good bit. And just to reiterate my point, hey kids, shoot up drugs, not schools. Yeah, we learned about Bob Saget as we were coming on. That was not fun. Yeah, Star Craving comes in here and is like, have you heard the bad news? And I'm like, well, there's a number of things, and start like naming all fucking headlines, but I had not heard that one because that happened like as I was coming on. Oh shit. Yeah, we're going to talk about the NYPD. Apparently they've been coming after Warlord. Eric Adams has named his brother as the NYPD commissioner. No, don't apologize. We need to know. The police have said that they do not suspect drugs or foul play were involved. My first inclination was that he OD'd, but he's 65. He might have fucking scaled down in his old age. My dad didn't, but you know, some people might. The NYPD got hit with a Molotov attack. We're going to see footage of one of their cars in the aftermath. A woman, apparently a teacher in Houston, has been released on bond after putting their fucking kid in the trunk because their kid tested positive for COVID. We're going to talk about the court taking on the vaccine mandate. Justice Sonia Sotomayor made an outlandish claim. You guys heard me run down the numbers of children. 700 have died of COVID. That number is startling in and of itself. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, sorry I fucked your name up, said something like 10,000 kids were being treated in pediatric hospitals right now. I don't know all the details. Like maybe she had one of those cushy trunks. There's some nice trunks in cars. It's just weird putting your kid in the trunk. So I don't know exactly what we're gonna think about that story after we get all the details. Once again, I just read the headlines. I get the news with you guys as we're doing it. And here's one that really fucking sucks. The Delta coronavirus variant has been discovered in Cyprus. There is some consternation. Apparently, people have claimed that this was a mistake in the lab, that they have not actually confirmed a new variant. This article has been updated as of 7:50 my time, apparently, on today. Maybe 7:50 Eastern time. A new coronavirus variant nicknamed Deltacron has been discovered in Cyprus. Local media reported on Saturday the variant has a similar genetic background to the Delta variant, as well as some of the mutations from Omicron, explained Dr. Leonidas Kostrikis, the head of the Laboratory of Biotechnology and Molecular Virology at the University of Cyprus. This is according to the Cyprus Mail. We're reading from the Jerusalem Post. U.S. outlets aren't really reporting this yet. So I had to choose from a number of foreign sources, most of which weren't in English. That's why I went with the Jerusalem Post, which was in English. Variant has a similar genetic background to the Delta variant. Oh yes, we already read that. In total, 10 of the mutations from Omicron were found in the 25 samples taken in Cyprus. Yes, apparently there have been 25 confirmed cases. 11 of the samples came from people who were hospitalized due to the virus, while 14 came from the general population. Kostrakis theorized that the fact that the frequency of the mutation among hospitalized patients was higher could point to a correlation between the new variant and hospitalizations. Cyprus, and that's the thing about the Omicron variant that we have luckily dodged a bullet on, doesn't lead to as many hospitalizations. The hospitalizations are not correlating as strongly with case numbers as the Delta variant. The groundbreaking research and findings of Dr. Kostarakis is Dr. Kostarakis' team make us proud of our scientists, as this research puts Cyprus on the international map when it comes to health matters. According to the reporter for the Cyprus Mail, Cyprus's health minister plans to announce more information about the new variant in a press conference at the beginning of the week. The scientific name of the new variant has not been announced as of yet. The announcement of the new variant comes just a week after a new coronavirus variant, B.1.6402, was discovered in France. Experts have stated that it seems not to be of a concern. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but I guess that's what I do. The FDA has shortened the recommended time for a booster for the Moderna vaccine. U.S. regulators on Friday shortened the time that people who received Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine have to wait for a booster to 5 months rather than 6. I actually waited because I'm now just outside of the 6-month window. I'm going to go get a booster whenever the next time I leave the house is. But now they've shortened it to 5 months, I assume, with the prevalence of the Omicron variant. The 2-dose Moderna vaccine is open to Americans 18 and older. The Food and Drug Administration's decision on Friday means Moderna recipients are eligible for a booster after at least 5 months have passed since their last shot. The CDC agreed. That's in line with new recommendations for recipients of the Pfizer vaccine. Initial Pfizer vaccinations are open to anyone 5 or older, but only Pfizer recipients 12 and older are eligible for boosters. And earlier this week, the U.S. health authorities said they can get one 5 months after their last shot. You want to talk about some sports? Follow up to a story we did last week. Djokovic was the name of the Australian player. Now a second player loses their visa over their vaccine status. Australia has canceled the visa of Czech tennis player Renata Vorakova, who had entered the country to play in the Australian Open. He is being held in the same hotel as Serbian star Novak Djokovic, who is appealing the cancellation of his visa. Djokovic's initial exemption from vaccine requirements for unspecified reasons angered many Australians. The Czech government said Vorakova entered Australia on a valid exemption. She had contracted COVID-19 recently. The government in Prague says she will now withdraw from the tournament and leave Australia. The Australian government said on Friday that a recent infection does not mean a foreign national can travel to the country without being fully vaccinated. More than 90% of Australia's adult population has had at least 2 doses of coronavirus vaccine, but many still face restrictions as COVID case numbers rise. Australia treats it like it ain't no joke. Meanwhile, here in the U.S., we run a sloppy shop. Hold on, gotta turn off the old ad blocker. Tennessean here. Incorrect, we don't run a sloppy shop in the U.S. Follows our lead. As Nashville's U.S. Figure Skating Championships failed to fend off COVID-19, who isn't sick from this? I'm going to change the headline. If only a snowstorm was the largest problem dogging this week's U.S. Figure Skating Championship at Bridgestone Arena. Not when news broke Friday afternoon that 16-year-old Alyssa Liu had tested positive for COVID-19 and withdrawn after skating and placing third in Thursday night's short program. It was an exceptionally unwelcome and upsetting development for the event and those running it. Oh, one of your states is fully shit. Yeah, conservatives tend to suck, don't they? So, this meant that the favorites in both of the pairs and women's singles competitions had to withdraw because of COVID. Holy shit. With Lou joining Alexa Kiernan and Brandon Fraser. I don't think it's that Brandon Fraser, but I don't know for sure. All of the above still can and probably will be named to next month's U.S. Olympic team in Beijing. But no matter who ends up winning their events at Nationals this week, the indelible memory will be that COVID was victorious in Nashville of 2022. I'd say it's preventable. You keep it like other sports have shown how you do it. You just have to fucking keep everybody in a fucking bubble. And you can't have spectators. But the Omicron variant is really spreading like wildfire. AOC is tested positive. I'm sure the right wing is going to give her a lot of shit after she was maskless down in Miami, which maybe wasn't such a good thing, but she was outside. I'll tell you what is not a good idea is not being vaccinated and going to a conspiracy theory conference. An anti-vax podcaster who got COVID at a conspiracy conference has died. Right-wingers are morons. Doug Kuzma, 61, used his show to push an array of conspiracy theories ranging from QAnon to COVID denial and election fraud lies. Look at this motherfucker right here. She is experiencing mild symptoms, AOC is, and I don't think we're on watch for her to die because she has been vaccinated and boosted. I keep the Trump one just because like I made it and I spent a lot of time on it. Unfortunately, Trump has been boosted, so he did not follow with his ilk like this podcaster.
Trump dies of COVID watch.
It's just a funny fucking graphic. When I did the opening for the Halloween graphics, and there's like the blood flowing on screen, like Trump's head from that graphic flowed behind. It Doug! I forget, this is the Troll Patrol with Big Doug. I need to change everything. I'd probably be a lot more popular if I just called myself Big Doug. Doug Kuzma, though, is not Big Doug. He's Dead Doug. Well. Caller, you're on the Troll Patrol. What's going on?
Hello.
Hello?
My son would like to have a discussion with you.
Okay, please. What you want to talk about?
Are you on TV?
I am on the internet. It's better than TV.
That's cool. My daddy wanted me to come on here.
Are you like Steven Crowder? Do you have to do what your daddy tells you?
Yes, he beats me.
It's not very alpha of you.
Give me the phone.
Is that your daddy?
Yes, he's outside the door right now.
Hey, Daddy. What do you guys want to talk about? Argue with me about something.
I think. I'm sorry.
Are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous.
Are you gonna throw up? I'm a big star to talk to, aren't I?
I don't like to throw up.
I don't either. It tastes horrible, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, have you ever thrown up before?
Have I ever thrown up before? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Well,
You're costing me viewers now. I'm losing people. Like you're not entertaining. You gotta do better than this.
Viewers? What viewers?
People that are watching the stream.
You have no.
That's what people keep saying, but the Google Analytics guy said I've been shadow banned. So wouldn't that explain it? You should share this video out in order to stick it to big tech.
My daddy just gave me the phone, and he wanted me to talk to you.
Can I talk to your daddy instead? Daddy.
He's shaking his head no.
Daddy. All right, well.
Cocksucker on with me.
Hey, what's going on?
Don't put that cocksucker on me. I'll beat your ass.
Where's your accent from? This is interesting.
What accent?
You sound like you have an accent. I have an Appalachian accent, and an accent is not a bad thing.
Do not accuse me of having an accent.
I'm not accusing you of having an accent.
I come beat your ass.
Come beat my ass. I dare you. I keep getting threatened tonight, and let's see it. Let's see.
Your ass.
Beat my ass. Maybe I like it, Daddy. Maybe I like it, Daddy.
Daddy, don't say that. I said I want to eat your ass and suck your blood.
Do you guys do like a father son dom thing? Like I might be into that. It's not something I've thought about, but like, hey,
hey, look, that's very messed up. You say father son tag team.
Well, no. Father, like in the gay community, they do like these like daddy son relationships. It's not that they're actually blood father and son.
I'm watching on TV, and my son wants to call you, and you accuse him of being in sexual relations with me. What is wrong with you?
I live in sexual anarchy.
I bet you do, you pervert.
You live in sexual anarchy?
I am kind of a pervert.
You say to God you're a pervert?
I'll tell God I'm a pervert, but I think if there is a God, he's all-knowing, so he already knows I'm a fucking pervert, right?
You like...
He's seen the things I put my dick in.
You put your dick in little boys? What is wrong with you?
No. Who said that? I hate kids. Fuck kids. No, not literally. Don't literally fuck kids. Figuratively fuck kids.
I take you to jail.
I hate kids.
I've been to jail 3 times.
Yeah. I believe that.
Okay.
I've been to jail 3 times too. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
I know. I bet.
I've got fucking funny. What, you're gonna judge me? I've been to jail the same number of times as you. They've all got fucking funny stories around them too.
I'll bet you love getting your ass fucked.
On occasion, whenever my stomach is okay to handle it, I have some stomach issues. You're no fun. Put your daddy back on the phone. Daddy. All right. It's been fun, guys. I think I've got all the entertainment value I can get out of you. Have a fantastic evening. God damn. Oh shit.
You live in sexual anarchy.
That's that shit right there. That's what we're talking about. Big Doug Kuzma. There's a picture of him recording his podcast here. A QAnon and anti-vaccine podcaster has died from complications due to COVID-19 after contracting the virus at a conspiracy theory conference that turned into a super spreader event, and where fellow attendees baselessly blamed their illness on an anthrax attack. Good Lord!
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Doug Kuzma. Is it Kuzma, the kind of shit that fucking, like, grows all over everything? It's like a weed that takes over, like, gardens and shit. Doug Kuzma, 61, from Newport News, Virginia, died on January the 3rd after being hospitalized 10 days earlier. Kuzma broadcasted on the Frog News Broadcasting Network, which stands for Fully Rely on God. Well, God was in the driver's seat. Jesus took the wheel. Kuzma and his frog fellow host pushed an array of conspiracy theories ranging from QAnon to COVID denial and election fraud. Kuzma attended the Reawaken American Conference in Dallas on the weekend of December the 11th. He posted a picture of his media pass on his Facebook page. Other images Kuzma posted from the conference show large crowds in confined spaces without any social distancing or masks. Podcaster room overrun with people, chaos, Kuzma commented under one picture. The conspiracy-laden event, organized by Tulsa businessman Clay Clark, was headlined by the likes of disgraced former National Security Advisor Mike Flynn, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, and former President Donald Trump's son, Eric. Well, you know we're gonna try to, like, unless Vice linked us to. We're gonna go to YouTube and find a fucking video of Kuzma. Come on, we gotta pay tribute to him. What was his last upload? 4 weeks ago. Talking about the so this is the event where he actually fucking got COVID. Oh my God, I've got, it's like Groundhog Day. I've got to keep reliving Bob Saget dying. Yes, Bob Saget is dead. I'm sorry. It really sucks.
You sure can. I appreciate the word. Thank you. The size of a box of cereal. No, but
I had to skip ahead here so we can actually get into Kuzma doing his actual broadcast.
The headsets actually work very well. As you can tell, the background noise is gone. I can hear a tiny bit, but probably nothing compared to what it was.
He's playing a little inside baseball here, telling you what's going on
said, hey, we're all a
with his tech issues.
God won't have it no other way. He's going to make sure I could broadcast. Do you know what I mean, guys? And
oh, yes. Amen.
Heidi back on and redo all that, too. I just, like I said, I apologize. There's really
God's so good.
Just know that I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Remember, I flew in on a plane. If I went to one of these events.
You flew in on a plane, you got the COVID, and now you dead. My apologies to anybody in the chat who thinks I shouldn't be making fun of anti-vaxxers who die. It's kind of been a pastime of mine on the show. Apparently, I've lost some viewers because of it. Oh, well.
Just podcasting. I don't want to look like a TV station. I don't want to look like...
well, you have accomplished your goal, sir.
I might eventually have that. You know what I mean? I can throw up the overlays. I got that. I'm thinking of moving to some other streaming software as well. I mean, you know,
it's a Godcast.
Banner up there if I want like that. There's our little frog. But
oh, I thought somebody had put a frog emoji up in the chat. I'm like, where'd that come from?
Plays events.
That's his graphic up on my
I was
screen.
just there as a guest, not a podcaster by any means. And Vandersteel is doing an interview over there. It's just good times. Hey, how are you today?
It's good times at the super spreader event that got everybody sick and caused this motherfucker to die. Doug, you stupid bitch. I'm sorry you're dead, man. I'm sorry you lacked the critical thinking skills to not be able to discern factual information that you should follow as opposed to right-wing goddamn conspiracy nonsense, which apparently you tried to make a living at. So I definitely don't have any sort of sympathy for him. Oh, congrats to the newest recipient of the Herman Cain Award. I was going to comment, but I can't say anything better than that, so. Meanwhile, down in Florida, Ron DeSantis is complaining that apparently you have to have a vaccine to get a hamburger, which I don't think is true.
To be like testing for anything else has been prior to COVID. I mean, that's how you live a normal life, not saying that unless you test negative, you can't live or operate in society. That's not a good road to go down. We've done obviously much better in Florida of being open and letting people make their decisions. You know, there's some parts of the country where you have to show medical papers just to go have a hamburger. And you think yourself, why
That's
are
not true at all.
Well, it'll help stop spread, but it's not. You look at what's happening now. You've had huge increases in a lot of these very restrictive states. And so it has not worked.
You've had huge increases in Florida.
Costs on our society, both in terms of economic and slowing the economy, but really in terms of dividing people by trying to act like if you don't have this, then you shouldn't be able to live your life the way normal people have been able to live for forever. That's wrong.
Now there was talk that he possibly had COVID. I watched a TYT thing where they showed a press conference because, like, here's the thing: is I'd played a video of him from like the day after that, and so like he sounded fine to me. Then the TYT played the video from the day before, like the first day he resurfaced, and he did sound a little weird. You look at the cops behind him here on National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. The number one killer of cops in this country, COVID-19.
And I think you look what's happened in other parts of the world, the way they treat some of these people, if you don't have this many shots, you go to I mean, that's not what we want to see. And
he sounds fine here, and I had already heard him sound fine.
And normalcy here, and then provide tools for people to be able to get good clinical outcomes.
Hold on, guys. I need to do a little meth here on the show.
Bob has been following what's going on. Her said she's pushing some initiatives that are very important to her. We've seen her out and about. Some of us hoping we can get an update on her health.
So we're not out of the woods. We had, as was became public.
That's an understatement.
We've asked, talked amongst ourselves about, okay, she's a public figure, a lot of people care about her, and a lot of people have been praying for her, and that makes a huge difference to us.
I have no clue what he was talking about. He got outed as hoarding tests. If you're just joining us, Bob Saget died. I'm going to have to just say that every few minutes. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It's also at the top of every story I open. I'm going to watch something Bob Saget oriented. Might watch some Half-Baked maybe? They're on one of his stand-up specials. I watched In the Heat of the Night, the movie, this weekend because Sidney Poitier died. Always, when stars die, I go back and I watch their seminal works. And In the Heat of the Night was a fantastic movie. I had a whole movie day yesterday. I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife. I watched the Tammy Faye movie. It was really all the movies really. Ghostbusters I wasn't into for like the first half. By the second half, it stuck the landing. I was totally into it. Thank you. Don't want to make any more, but that was a cool movie. I'm glad I got to experience that. The Supreme Court considers derailing the federal vaccine mandates. Appears inclined to keep for healthcare workers, but not for the wider workforce. We're reading from a piece by James Hodge, who is a professor of law at Arizona State University. It's his interpretation what the court signaled from their oral arguments presented over the Thursday and Friday. Conservative justices on the Supreme Court appeared to signal a belief that the Biden administration may have overreached in ordering private companies to require that staff be vaccinated or subject to regular testing. Well. Caller, you're on the Troll Patrol. What's going on?
My name's Jimmy. My dad's asleep right now.
What? Why do I keep having people call and talk to me about their dads? You think I got daddy issues or something? I laughed when my father died.
I know those people are calling, but I just need to make a comment real quick on something you were talking about. Oh, God.
I mean, we've gotten some entertainment out of the calls tonight. That one's pretty funny. Is Sparkles watching? She would love that. That's the kind of call she would enjoy. Oral arguments over just how far the federal government can. And I go back to reading the news about the Supreme Court argument. I know for this shit. I haven't had enough meth tonight. Oh, fuck. Where do you ever get that why would I do meth? I had a boss. One time he's like, you think I don't know when you come in here bouncing off the walls that you're out of your mind high? I'm like, no, it's the opposite. When I'm bouncing off the walls, I'm sober. When I'm high, I'm normal. I do downers. Learn. I do downers to calm myself the fuck down. Because I'm way too much. I'm way too much when I'm fucking high. Especially young me. Holy shit. With the chip on his shoulder. I didn't like myself when I was younger. No, I look like a fucking head. I look like a stoner. I look like an old fucking hippie style stoner. Thank you very much. I mean, I ain't saying I ain't done a little meth before, but like, I used to buy pot, but like, I never went out of my way. It was never something that I was like, oh, I'm gonna go buy some meth. Never give a shit. But like, I had a pot dealer when I lived in Virginia, and I would go up there and he would be doing fucking meth with his old, like, seriously, they were 60s, maybe even in their 70s. They, like, I think he made it. He lived way the fuck out there. Away from fucking anybody up on a hill. In Floyd, Virginia. That's where they do Floyd Fest. The fucking weird off the grid fucking area. And I would go up there and they'd be just doing meth all fucking night. I'd just sit there and fucking do some meth with them. But it's not something I was into. I had a girlfriend that was really into the shit. Called P&P, Party and Play. do a little meth, and then, you know, do a little sex. She's also a crackhead, though, but when she was doing crack, she was just in the bathroom doing crack the whole time. There's no sexy time. But don't call me meth adjacent. I'm just an old head. Now, maybe the heroin, maybe I'd get hooked on that. Maybe if I was in, like, fucking LA in the fucking 90s. Everybody was doing the heroin. Maybe I would have got hooked on that. Who knows? That's a downer. This is more my style. Where's Adam at? He'll explain this shit to you. You know what I say? Kids, shoot up drugs, not schools. I think that is sound advice. The gunshot's a little too loud, isn't it? I should turn that motherfucker down. Oh, shit. This is a little loud for me. I don't know how it sounded for you guys. We'll fix that up. We'll do. I think it is sound advice. The kids should take it. I'd much rather them do drugs where if they kill somebody, it's just themselves. I don't know what that means. Fuck, I hid my microphone. God. I'm stupid. That's why I shouldn't do this shit while, like, you know, I'm doing the show. There, that's correct. That's good. Now we're back where we. Hugs and good drugs. I love it. Where you been, curious, sir? We keep getting calls. They keep getting weirder and weirder. I'm worried. I don't have it was an unknown number, so I can't, like, give the number to the police and make sure everybody was all right. That sounded like there was trouble going on. The one caller made me think that he was going to try to swat me or some shit. We're going to talk about Tim Pool getting swatted here in a little bit. Here's the thing is, like, I hate needles, so I couldn't, I probably wouldn't ever get hooked to an intravenous drug. But there is, like, smokable forms of heroin, and I might be into that shit. I don't know. It's like somebody was pranking me, possibly. But it sounded like Daddy was a little too harsh on him. Let's go ahead and move on. I think we got the gist of the Supreme Court, so let's talk about fucking Justice Sotomayor's mischaracterization of pediatric hospitalizations. This is CDC Director Walensky. Oh, this is a fucking advertisement from Fox Nation. CDC Director Walensky.
Michelle Walensky. Dr. Walensky, welcome back.
Come on with Brett Baer this morning.
Good morning, Brett. Good to be with you.
You know, you just heard about the U.S. Supreme Court currently deciding the fate of the president's vaccine mandates. In the questioning, Justice Sonia Sotomayor made this statement.
We have over 100,000 children.
100? Yeah, I think I said 10,000.
In serious condition, and many on ventilators.
Now, we can find from Friday suggests there are fewer than 3,500 current pediatric hospitalizations.
That sounds about right.
COVID-19. Is that true?
Yeah, but here's what I can tell you about our pediatric
Wait, she just misspoke?
hospitalizations now. First of all, the vast majority of children who are in the hospital are unvaccinated. And for those children who are not eligible for vaccination, we do know that they are most likely to get sick with COVID if their family members aren't vaccinated. So the most important thing we can do for those children to keep them...
So the CDC director just pivoted and trying to get the best message out.
Understood. But the number's not 100,000. It's roughly 3,500 in hospitals now.
Yes, there are, and in fact, what I will say is
the justice misspoke.
Hospitalizations are rising. They're still about 15-fold less than hospitalizations of our older age demographics.
Do you have a number of children on ventilators?
I would say that is true.
Have that off the top of my head, but what I can say...
Oh, he meant an actual number.
I don't believe there are any in many of these hospitals who are vaccinated. So really, the highest risk of being on a ventilator if you're a child is if you're unvaccinated. We also have recent data out just this week that's demonstrated that dangerous MIS-C syndrome that we're seeing in children, 91% protection if you've been vaccinated.
But the risk of death or serious illness in children is still very small. Right?
Comparatively, the risk of death.
I mean, what is?
But of course,
very small.
Supposed to die. So
3,500 children in the hospital. It seems like a large number to me.
We want to make sure that we want to protect them, of course.
Right, but I'm talking from your data, ages 15 to 24, for example, the risk of death is at 0.001%. I guess what I'm getting at in this opening is that the Supreme Court is in the process of dealing with this big issue about mandates. And do you feel a responsibility as a CDC director to correct a very big mischaracterization by one of the Supreme Court justices?
Yeah, here's what I'll tell you. I'll tell you that right now, if you're unvaccinated, you're 17 times more likely to be in the hospital and 20 times more likely to die than if you're boosted.
Exactly. And we also don't know the effects of long COVID.
And recommendations to protect the American people. Those recommendations strongly recommend vaccination for our children above the age of 5 and boosting for everyone above the age of 18 if they're eligible.
Speaking of statistics, it seems to make a big difference if a person in the hospital is in the hospital for COVID-19 or with COVID-19. It's been almost a year since you've been running the agency. Do we have that split on numbers?
Seriously?
What I will say is it differs by each variant. So some variants...
And it's not even a part of the conversation, the long-term effects of having COVID multiple times. Which seems very likely for everybody on the planet now.
Person by person, but given how large the numbers are that we're seeing more and more cases come into the hospital.
There are still children in cages down at our southern border.
Patients who are coming in.
That's an issue as well. During a pandemic.
COVID, but because they're coming in with something else and have had COVID or the Omicron variant detected.
Right. But I guess, do you know how many of the 836,000 deaths in the U.S. linked to COVID are from COVID, or how many are with COVID, but they had other comorbidities? Do you have that breakdown?
Yes, of course. With Omicron, we're following that very carefully.
The CDC director is doing a good job of hammering home the point.
It takes a few weeks to...
In response to
Omicron has just been with us for...
Brett Baer's questioning.
Will be forthcoming.
But, the questioning in the Supreme Court also said that Omicron was as deadly as Delta. That is not true, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Omicron is not as deadly as Delta, at least by your data right now, right?
And here's the thing, is the Supreme Court had a ton of protections. The lawyers couldn't go in and argue in the Supreme Court because they tested positive for COVID. Caller, you're on the Troll Patrol.
My other son would like to talk to you.
Oh, no. I'd rather talk to you, Daddy. Well, who's talking to me? Nobody's talking to me. The other one was better. The last call was way better than that one. I'm just hanging up on it. That one sucked. Oh shit. Let's You know what? After that, let's talk about Tim Pool getting swatted. Next.
Afterwards, and they actually announced a number of times.
The cops just walked in.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's I was looking at my notes and I was like,
did somebody swat you?
Yep, somebody swatted us.
Did they really?
Swatted us?
Yep, somebody swatted us. So that's
How do you know?
what that
How do you
was.
know?
I have.
Well, that's.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so Tim's gonna go
wow.
take care of
So,
business.
yeah, just a police officer
stroll
entered
it in.
here, looked around because it looks like someone swatted this live broadcast here.
I don't know that that's what's going on. They're saying swatted, but apparently just cops walked into their studio.
Something that's extremely dangerous, extremely reckless, because SWAT incidences have led to a lot of innocent people dying.
Death.
Dogs being shot, people thinking that their house is being raided by criminals.
Yeah, cops being shitty have led to a lot of people dying.
And they're listening.
We talk about that a lot on this show.
Those things, and it's a.
You're sitting there with Officer Tatum.
If you get caught swatting, that's a felony crime, and you can spend years in jail over it because the inherent risk. If a police officer, believes that. If the police officer believes that
we got swatted, it's confirmed. I don't think it's confirmed.
Somebody is screaming.
No, if they had gotten swatted, there would have been a SWAT team come in, put everybody on the ground. That is not what happened.
And we pulled the trigger on them.
Yeah.
Now we're in a shootout with the police. You can get them hurt.
We as a viewer don't even fucking know.
All right,
This seems like a setup to me.
No, we never got caught on that.
I'm gonna tell you guys what just happened. I just walked out of the room. The cops walked in. They walked around with flashlights. We've been swatted.
I call bullshit
with this because I can't necessarily be mad at the officers. They were very polite, but I do not like cops coming into my house when we have mats all over the place. They come back with a warrant.
Yeah.
And I don't know who let them in or why.
Yeah, what happened?
I understand they're here because we got swatted. A report was made that 2 people had been shot and killed, and that the gunman was threatening to hurt themselves. They didn't send a SWAT team. It was just a couple of officers. I don't want to drag them or be mean to them because
I call BS.
But I'm not happy with the idea that they're walking into our studio while we are live. They're walking around. Cop immediately, I walked out of the room. He immediately came up and said, "I'm really, really sorry about this. We're not trying to, screw with you or ruin what you're doing. Here's what happened. We got a call. 2 people had been shot and killed, and a person was going to be killing themselves. We have to check it out and make sure everything's okay. We're going to be doing a sweep once we figure it out." And I'm just like, come back with a warrant.
But I have to say, this is what I have to say. I don't think that they believe that was 100% true. There's no way on planet Earth that only 2 officers would show up to a shooting, double homicide.
Yeah, exactly. What he described wasn't getting swatted.
Tell him to leave and like.
Well, then let me just explain this from a police perspective as well. Is that if the police do a swatting call, right, and it's found to be illegitimate,
you're right.
They, any evidence that they think they may have or is suppressed because this was an illegitimate entry into a house. You can enter under exigent circumstances.
I don't even believe what he's saying to be the truth of the situation.
Searching for evidence and different things like that. So I get it, but as a cop, I see how you can't just not do anything.
What's an exigent circumstance?
Exigent?
Exigent.
What's
that? Exigent circumstance. Meaning that it's a
crazy
circumstance.
A whole bunch of dumb fucks talking right now.
It's a right now thing. That means that right now I have to act.
Emergency.
It's an emergency.
I think this to me is like highlights the value of local police, because when I was in Chile, I noticed it was all national cops everywhere. They all have like uniforms standing on the corner. If you get a call like this and it's only national cops, you got no one's going to be there to defend
like
you.
what's happening
At
right
least
now.
You know your neighbors.
What's happening right now doesn't make sense. Like if
it doesn't.
I'm hearing active shooting, guy with a gun shot 2 people. I'm not going to walk in here without a SWAT team, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it depends, right? You got to think of, like I said, exigent circumstances. Police officers have a duty.
It's a fucking really nice house. He lives in like a $4 million home.
I was on the SWAT team.
Yeah.
And we had about an
They ain't just gonna come up in a fucking rich white person's house and bust shit up. That's not how shit works.
And get to the location, and we had to get together to a certain degree to try to figure out what tactics we're going to use. So it takes time. If there was a real call of 2 people shot, a man with a gun, they have to respond now.
Right.
And if those 2 officers are the only ones in the area, they have to come now. And they have to force entry, and they have to make sure everything's okay. That speaks to the bravery of law enforcement officers, because what if there was a situation like that and they were the only 2 here and they were going to risk their lives potentially getting mowed?
Hot cops. Yeah, it was just strippers at his door.
But they had to respond anyway because there was potential.
I call bullshit. And believe me, like, Tim has been caught many times making shit the fuck up. That was a good video to watch here on National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Houston mother has been released on bond after allegedly putting a COVID-19 positive son in the trunk. Sarah Beam is charged with child endangerment. Oh shit, hold on. Who am I welcoming to the fold over here? I don't have Twitch up. I need to finish doing the on-screen shit. Mark blows dudes. Aren't you just a bootlegger? Were they boot-shaped cookies, Mark? Do we have a local news hit? Do we get a video of her?
A Cypress Falls high school teacher accused of putting her 13-year-old son inside her car trunk has bonded out of jail. Sarah Beam is charged with child endangerment. We're told she was at a drive-through COVID-19 testing site in Northeast Harris County when a worker found the 13-year-old and notified police. Beam allegedly said her son tested positive for COVID and she did not want to be exposed. Beam is now out on a $1,500 bond. Cy-Fair ISD says Beam has been placed on administrative leave.
I mean, if that was the car, that car has a really nice fucking trunk. This is but like also like you both wear masks inside the car, you roll the windows down as long as you've got good ventilation. Like you roll like the driver's window down and then the back window down so that it creates the vacuum. Yeah, okay, I didn't even think about the travel without restraint. Okay, that's... Police were also able to obtain surveillance footage which showed her son get out of the trunk and into the back seat. Beam was employed as a teacher with Cypress Falls High School, but she is currently on administrative leave. I don't know. Like, as I said, like, it's probably a really nice fucking trunk. I don't think her intent was malicious either. But, like, the smart way to go about it would be, as I said, roll the 2 windows. Like, you don't even, if it's a cold day, you don't even have to roll it all the way down. You just have to create that vacuum. Like, a little, like a third of the way down, maybe. And you roll the back window on the opposite side down a little bit and it creates a vacuum. You both wear a mask inside the car, sit on opposite sides of the car. You should be good. From what we know about COVID, even with the Omicron variant. But she also might have been stressed out, wasn't thinking. If she's a teacher during these times, holy shit, yeah, let's cut her some slack. Garbage bag them and buckle them up. I mean, I don't care about your kids, so. Person threw a Molotov at an NYPD cruiser in the Bronx. I hope we got video.
Setting it on fire. It all unfolded around 10:30 Thursday night.
Oh, we've only got a picture.
Bay Park subway station in the Bronx. Police were inside the station at the time, responding to a call for an emotionally disturbed person. Nobody was hurt.
What do you mean to fit my narrative? Oh, Mark, what do you mean to fit my narrative? Do you want me like I've spent the day every time I've seen a lawmaker tweet out or not tweet, I'm not on Twitter. They don't let me on Twitter. Post about National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I posted about something really horrendous that the cops have done in their districts. Because I'm just that kind of guy. One of the things I'm most pissed about is the Louisville Metro Police Department raping kids and covering it up. They still haven't arrested the murderer of Breonna Taylor. We can talk about the Florida sheriff's deputies that were planting meth on drivers, the 1,000 arrests made in Alabama on false pretenses where cops planted evidence. A whole department in the Baltimore Police Department had to be disbanded because they were planting like toy guns on kids they shot. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has a real problem with gangs. They got to kill an innocent person in order to be initiated into their gang. The Sheriff's Department in Los Angeles County. I can go on and on and on about the absolute corruption of the police in this country. I don't understand. It's always the people that are telling me they hate government that also worship the police. Makes no goddamn sense to me. What the fuck? I want government to make sure my water is clean and fucking provide people with essential services. I don't want a government that has fucking guns and beats people in the fucking streets. I don't understand right-wingers. Makes no goddamn sense to me. A government to restrain business and break up monopolies. I want governments to build efficient roads, not allow 70,000 bridges in the country to be structurally deficient. That's what I want government to do. I don't want them to fucking walk around with their little dick syndrome with their fucking guns. Militarized police beating people in the street. That's the opposite of what the Constitution says. Fucking right-wingers need to shut the fuck up about the Second Amendment, start worrying about the Fourth and Fifth Amendments. Because those are the amendments that actually give you your freedom in this country. Fuck all the way off. Disband the military. The founders were against it. They didn't want a fucking standing army. Disband the cops, the FBI, the whole surveillance state, the NSA, the CIA. Fucking get rid of all of them. Fuck them all. We'll be better without them. Put all that money into education and hospitals. And developing prescription drugs that are affordable, that aren't in the hands of fucking That's another thing. That's another goddamn thing I'm so pissed off about right-wingers about. They keep talking about like, oh, Pfizer is hiding their data for 75 years. No, motherfuckers. It's the patent. That's the patent. That's the patent. They're not hiding how many people died from the fucking vaccine. They're hiding how to make their fucking drug and how to distribute it. They're fucking processes for constructing the drug, whatever the manufacture of it. That's what I'm trying to think of. That's what that 75 years is. You're bitching about capitalism, you stupid fucks. You just like the NCIS TV show, don't you? I don't want a fucking Navy. Disband the military. Disband law enforcement. Now, there has to be some sort of enforcement for the courts. I don't know what that system looks like, but it needs to be a highly pared back, and it needs to be enforcing fucking wage laws and shit. That's the kind of laws I want the cops to enforce, not your nonsense infringing on people's fucking rights. Don't lay a finger on my Butterfinger. I'd love a Butterfinger right now. That sounds great. You want to talk about corruption in the police force? Former cop Eric Adams, now the mayor of NYC, defending his brother's NYPD job, says he'll protect against white supremacists. Well, now.
Qualified for the position. Number one, he will be in charge of my security, which is extremely important to me in a time when we see an increase in white supremacy and hate crime.
Wow.
Security in a very serious way.
Wow. So he's appointed his brother to serve as deputy New York Police Department commissioner. This is his younger brother, Bernard Adams. The Conflict of Interest Board, a city ethics panel, will ultimately have to make the determination on whether to grant the permission to the mayor to allow his brother to serve as the deputy commissioner. Fuck cops. I want a government that'll do shit like this, though. This is something I really want to highlight. Senator John Ossoff is set to introduce a bill barring members of Congress from trading individual stocks. I wonder, like, we're seeing a fucking hell of a lot of red up here in the stock ticker. I wonder what's causing that. The Omicron wave on top of maybe the possibility that insider trading gets regulated. Senator John Ossoff of Georgia, and this is another thing. People talk about voting not being, people on the left talk about voting not being important. You'd rather have fucking Democrats in there than Republicans. Come on. A bill like this would never get put forward by Republicans. Now, it may end up having one or two Republicans sign on to it. Possibly. More than likely in the House, maybe. Senator John Ossoff of Georgia is set to introduce legislation that would bar members of Congress from holding or trading individual stocks while they're in elected office. The ethics bill, which the 34-year-old freshman Democratic senator reportedly hopes to file once he has a Republican co-sponsor. Looking at you, Rand Paul, this should be up your alley. This should be something you're for. Would tackle legislative conflicts of interest by banning members and their families from trading stocks. This is according to a source in Washington, D.C. with knowledge on the matter. In addition, the legislation would likely mandate that lawmakers place their financial assets in blind trust. No, Nancy Pelosi won't like that. And that is an action that Ossoff took himself after being elected to the Senate in a January 2021 runoff election. The proposed bill would present a huge contrast to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who last month publicly defended the practice after insiders Brian Metzger asked if she would support a stock trading ban for members at a press conference. We're a free market economy, Nancy said. Now, one of the reasons this came into the spotlight was because a lot of people on Twitter were following Nancy Pelosi's husband's stock trades. There was a bot that was tweeting out Nancy Pelosi's husband's stock trades. And people were getting fucking filthy rich off of just doing the same thing Nancy Pelosi's husband was doing. So what does that tell you about insider trading? Senator Ossoff, who I was not that excited for, my God, this is a fantastic piece of legislation, and I support you 100%. Thank you very much. So that is a contrast between Republicans in office. But here, Mark Levin is going to give you a comparison of Trump to Biden. The best comparison you'll ever see. according to the headline here on Rumble, which was the Bongino report, which is just cutting up other people's content and then getting views off of it, which is kind of unethical.
To reject the media narrative in this country. If you listen to the media in this country, you're going to get all screwed up. You're not going to get the facts. You're not going to get any history.
I agree. Everybody should turn you the fuck off right now. Do not listen to Mark Levin, the media in this country. The right-wing corporatist media in this country is fucking stupid, just like Mark Levin.
Even recent history, it is a propaganda operation, and we should all know this by now. There are a handful of real journalists in this country, a handful of news platforms in this country, and that's it. One of the things they want to do is ensure that Donald Trump, if he chooses to run for president again in the Republican primary and so forth, that you will oppose him. It's the same media that tried to turn the 2016 election.
You should oppose him. He raped a kid. He tried to install himself as dictator. He attacked the Capitol. You should oppose him.
Improve his country. Unlike Barack Obama, he loved this country and he loved the citizens of this country. He didn't view
what the fuck are you talking about?
Transform America. He wanted to make America great again after Barack Obama and his ilk on the hard left. They tried to impeach him twice.
The hard fucking left, my ass. Obama was a center-right politician who listened to financial advisors, who gave the banks and the auto industries bailouts. Obama was not some far-left radical. There were people in his administration that were good on policy, that actually advocated for sending money to people to pay their mortgages. SpaceX was another business that they fucking helped to bail out. Elon Musk, don't worry, we're gonna talk about Elon Musk here in a little while. His fucking Hyperloop is stupid, and we finally figured out why he sold off so many of his stock. Turns out he knew about something. Speaking of insider trading, he knew about something that was gonna cause his stock to tank. But Mark Levin just lives in a fantasy world because Barack Obama was good for the economy. And Trump just rode his wave of economic success, didn't even put up the numbers Obama did, and then crashed the economy during COVID by mishandling it. It's amazing that anyone is still riding Trump's dick. I do not get it, but right-wingers are fucking morons.
Will go down in history as two of the most outrageous acts by a Democrat Congress. They used Russia collusion against him, which was clear to us, but is now clear to everybody, which was a criminal enterprise launched by Hillary Clinton.
They just say these things. That's not true. I can show you the Senate Intelligence Committee report. Russia hoax, Russia hoax. What hoax? Hundreds of connections between Russia and the Trump campaign.
The FBI, the intel agencies, the Obama White House, in my view, Obama and Biden as well, certain law firms and other individuals to try and take out a duly elected president. There's no commission to investigate that, of course. We have Twitter and Facebook.
Because that never happened.
A cabal of pro-Democrat, pro-American Marxist entities.
The fascist segment of the Republican Party has been like, they were a fringe wing in Nixon with like the Pat Buchanan part of the party.
Never served in Washington.
It goes back that far.
And so he needed to select people who had some experience at the bureaucratic level. Many of them turned on him.
I watched The Eyes of Tammy Faye last night, and they're like, that touches on the fusion of the right-wing evangelical Republican interests with the Jerry Falwell and all that bullshit. Frank Zappa wrote a song about it. Fuck them.
To the press, they stabbed him in the back. Some of them are trying to enrich themselves with books and so forth. This is a complete lack of character. It is so disgusting.
Some of them are trying to enrich themselves with books, he says, shamelessly promoting his book.
Whistleblower. They go after
all his other books over here to his right.
Another phony charge. 2.5, 3 years of a criminal special prosecutor. What an outrage unleashed against a president of the United States. They called him everything. Hitler, Stalin.
How many years was Starr impaneled?
A dictator, a man who loved his country. Absolutely outrageous. And now we have the Nancy Pelosi January 6th Stalinist Politburo trying to ensure that
what?
Will never run again. But we have to reject this narrative. And starting this evening, right here, I'm putting the marker down. Enough is enough, here and now. The comparison is what Trump has done versus what Biden is doing. And reject the rest of the corrupt media analysis because it's all propaganda. Let's look at COVID-19, Operation Warp Speed, 3 vaccines in less than a year, therapeutics in less than a year, stop travel with China, build hospitals, ventilators, masks, etc. Under constant attack from media Democrats, congressional Democrats, every step of the way. This was the equivalent of the modern...
He stood in the way of all of those things every step of the way. There's a fantastic documentary on Hulu about it. Totally in control, totally under control, something like that. Fucking the Trump administration was a roadblock to all of the things you just listed, Mark Levin.
Modern Manhattan Project for domestic war against the pandemic. We have never seen anything like this before in American history. That's what it was. That's what it is, despite what they say. What do we have from Biden? Nothing. No new vaccines.
Totally under control.
More people have died in 2021 under Biden than died in 2020 under Trump. According to Biden, that means he shouldn't be president of the United States. Where's the little...
And once again, like, it's kind of fudging it. I haven't seen the actual numbers, but I'm still pretty sure more people died under Trump. It was more people died in 2021, but a good chunk of the people that died in 2021 were in the first 3 weeks in which Trump was still president because we were at the peak of the original wave. Anyway.
Little charts on the...
There is no logic with these right-wing lunatics.
He has 3 vaccines and therapeutics that were developed under Trump. What do we get from Biden? People are fired. People are attacked. People are wearing the scarlet letter because they're unvaccinated. They don't even take it
because they won't take the vaccine you just fucking touted.
Which is even stronger than the vaccine. They have mandates. They have threats. They have firings. They have punishment. That's what we get from the autocratic Biden administration.
Autocratic.
Look at the border. Southern border more secure than it's been in generations. 500 miles of wall built under Trump, despite lawsuits from Democrats trying to stop him and slow him down with support from the media and rhinos who are weak on the border.
Seriously, guys, aren't you glad I don't give a fuck about money? Because I'm way better than any of these fucks. I could go be a right-winger so fucking easy. Seriously, he's just saying absolute bullshit. 500 miles of wall built? No, they replaced a whole bunch of fencing.
Number of illegal alien entrants were slashed to record lows. He had diplomatic breakthroughs.
That is true, and that's like shameful.
Remain in Mexico. You want to come into the United States? You're a refugee. You stay in Mexico till we figure this out. Huge drop in the flow of deadly drugs. Now we have a spike like we've never seen before. Drop in sex trafficking. Now we have a spike. Criminal immigrants coming into this country, MS-13 and so forth. Hundreds of thousands of unknown illegal immigrants.
We're actually seeing, we're seeing a spike in homicides. I don't know about the other numbers.
Border. That's what he's done.
And here's the thing about crime statistics.
Infected aliens, people with other diseases.
Him saying that, like, it would only be some kind of preliminary data. Like, there's no way to look at crime statistics from, like, this past year. Like, those lag behind by a few years. So him saying that's kind of weird.
It's coming from
just making it up.
Parts of the world into this country, and they don't seem to care. They're secretly released into parts of the country, particularly in Florida, because they hate DeSantis, without telling anybody.
Mark Levin is indeed an asshole.
Look at the economy. Under Trump, record low inflation, record low gas prices, energy independence. We were exporting oil, fracking, Anwar, federal leases, pipelines, all moving the American economic engine. Record employment before COVID, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, women, everyone. Even with COVID, the economy was recovering strongly. I would call this...
He is like literally citing the beginning of the Trump administration.
Businesses were opening again. Manufacturing was opening again. What do we have under Biden? Massive inflation, massive spending. What else?
What spending? There's been no like additional spending other than the COVID bill.
Independence is dead. Now we're begging our enemies, Russia. We're begging OPEC for oil. They say no. What else? Skyrocketing gas and home oil prices. Supply chain disaster. We've never had that before.
Who listens to this guy? Because he's got a grating voice.
For Christmas.
huge price increases when they're available.
Huge.
He wants to massively expand the federal government under this Buy Back Better or whatever the hell they call it. The welfare state they want to expand. New entitlements. Redistribution of wealth. Subsidies for non-work. That's not America. That's not what we believe in. Foreign policy.
What is he talking about?
Iran was in a box. Iran's economy was imploding. They're our enemy. He eliminated the Iran deal, which was a giveaway. China was...
The Iranian people are not my enemy, sir, and I really don't like the way we treat them.
Navy. They were boxed in. Russia...
The China tariffs, which a lot of economists credit for at least part of the inflation.
Of weapons to Ukraine. The Middle East, peace breaking out everywhere, unimaginable. Israel, we had the Gulf...
He literally had the nerve to say sending offensive weapons to Ukraine. Do you not remember the first impeachment, sir? The reason why he was impeached was because he wanted to withhold the offensive weapons to Ukraine in exchange for Ukraine making up a fucking charge about his opponent's son.
States, the Abraham Accords, multiple peace deals, never imagined.
You just watched some Ghostbusters, didn't you? Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Use of economic superiority, use of military superiority. He created the Space Force to confront China, which has satellite-killing satellites in the sky. He said enough of that. He rebuilt the U.S.
Satellite-killing satellites.
With integrity, with honor. He would never...
Sharks with freaking laser beams.
There are allies over there, or equipment over there, or giving them that Bahrain base. Never, ever, ever. And what do we have with Biden? The Afghanistan disaster.
It was Trump's negotiated pullout that Biden executed.
Worst ever military defeat, at least in modern times. That provokes our enemies, and it has. Iran is moving at warp speed. So
the U.S. has not won any kind of military fucking intervention at all.
Have them within a month or so.
Like in the last fucking 100 years.
And their economy.
I'm sorry, less than 100 years. Since Korea.
Barrels of oil to China, Iran, China, and now Russia. An alliance.
When will the satellite on satellite violence end?
Destroy Taiwan the way it destroyed Hong Kong, with multiple, endless military interventions into Taiwanian airspace. Russia has 100,000 troops on the...
Hey, now I am always for freedom and democracy, but like Hong Kong was legitimately negotiated with the British government for the handover. Like what's happening is like what was supposed to happen, and Hong Kong become a part of China. Now, like if Hong Kong wants independence, I think they should have independence. There's a lot of like Hong Kong been interfering in their fucking elections and shit, locking out pro-Hong Kong politicians. Very true. Oh, it's a sticky situation. I just want to make sure, because like he is glossing over a lot of shit there. Taiwan's a different story. Taiwan is like where the communists, where the anti-communists fled to during the last revolution in China. And they exist in this quasi part of China, not part of China. Like, and they like it that way. Like they want to stay where they're like kind of an independent state, but kind of also part of China. Whereas Hong Kong seems to want independence and doesn't want to be absorbed into China. Like, it's a whole fucking thing. But Mark Levin is not giving the due diligence to the actual situation because fucking it doesn't serve his purpose to be factual about anything.
The Ukrainian border today. And I already spoke about Iran. Israel's being undermined. Its defenses are being undermined because the Biden administration has told them you are not to attack Iran. Well, how are they going to defend themselves? Military, Biden uses it for social...
How are they going to defend themselves if they can't attack Iran? So, hold on. How are they going to defend themselves if they can't attack a country that didn't attack them? Does that make sense to you, Mark Levin? Are you fucking stupid?
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Yes, I think you're absolutely fucking stupid.
Experimentation, critical race theory, vax mandates. They want women in the draft. And ladies and gentlemen, they're destroying the number one military on the face of the earth. He doesn't even want to increase their budget. Executive.
What is he talking about? They actually did increase the military budget. Just a flat out fucking lie. And there's no reason to increase the military budget. We already spend fucking more than any other country, than like the next 10 countries combined.
Women's sports. And I could say more, but I can't. Because I want to get to part 2 of my interview with the President of the United States.
Yes, trans women are winning on Jeopardy and setting swimming records or some shit.
The never Trumpers to distract you because they don't want Donald Trump to be president again, and many of you do.
Why would you want Donald Trump to be president again? He raped a fucking kid. He attacked the country. He tried to install himself as dictator. Holy fuck. But you know what? Barry Weiss says the rest of the world has gone mad. She's not talking about Mark Levin and the bullshit he just spouted. No. We, the left. The left have gone mad, according to Barry Weiss.
Tens of millions of Americans who aren't on the hard left or the hard right who feel the world has gone mad. So in what ways has the world gone mad?
Well, you know, when you have the chief reporter on the beat of COVID for the New York Times talking about how questioning or pursuing the question of the lab leak is racist, the world has gone mad. When you're not able to say out loud and in public that there are differences between men and women, the world has gone mad.
Who told you that you can't say there are differences between men and women? What up, Producer Dave? Welcome, Echoplex. You got here just in time for the crazy.
Rioting is rioting and it is bad. And that silence is not violence, but violence is violence.
We agree that rioting is bad, and we are against the January 6 riots. We are against the white supremacists that attacked the Minneapolis Police Department.
The world has gone mad. When we're not able to say that Hunter Biden's laptop is a story worth pursuing, the world has gone mad. When
she's on CNN saying this.
School children as young as kindergarten are being separated in public schools because of their race, and that is called progress rather than segregation. The world has gone mad. There are dozens of examples that I could share with you and with your viewers.
And you often say aloud.
Sort of
Dozens of straw men she made up.
We're not allowed. We're not able. Who's the people stopping the conversation? Who are they?
Brian Stelter had you on to say it yourself.
Let work at networks, frankly, like the one I'm speaking on right now, who try and claim that, you know, it was racist to investigate the lab leak theory. It was.
But
I mean,
who
let's
said
just
that
take
at
an
CNN?
example.
But I'm just saying that when you say allowed, I just think it's a provocative thing to say. You say we're not allowed to talk about these things, but they're all over the internet. I can Google them. I can find them everywhere. I've heard about every story you mentioned.
You guys never shut the fuck up.
People are allowed to cover whatever they want to cover.
But you and I both know, and it would be delusional to claim otherwise, that touching your finger to an increasing number of subjects that have been deemed third rail by the mainstream institutions and increasingly by some of the tech companies.
You're making a fucking fortune off of it on Substack, aren't you?
Your children sometimes being demonized as well. And so what
How much did CNN pay you?
Internal self-censorship. This is something that I saw over and over again when I was at the New York Times. People saying to themselves, you know what? Why should I die on that hill? Why should I take the 3 or 4 weeks that it takes to smuggle through an op-ed?
By the way, let me go ahead, and I didn't put this on the list, but since she brought it up, and this is a good way to illustrate the point that she is wrong. It would appear that Betty White passing away actually broke the right-wing grip on the internet. Like the top trending stories. God damn it. How the fuck did I do that? Betty White's death breaks right-wing hold on Facebook news cycle. The right-wing news sources typically dominate Facebook by promoting polarizing articles, took a back seat this week as America reacted to news of beloved actress Betty White's death just weeks before her 100th birthday, with stories about White accounting for half of the top 10 links posted on the platform. The top link post on Facebook this week was from TMZ, which shared the breaking news. The post was shared more than 204,000 times. The only conservative news page that had any post in the top 10 this week was Dan Bongino's, whose post about the IRS reminding Americans to report stolen property as income came in at number 8. Right-wing figures commanded news sharing on Facebook throughout 2021, and there were often weeks where personalities like Ben Shapiro accounted for essentially all the top 10 link posts. So what were you saying, Barry Weiss?
Doesn't suit the conventional narrative. I might as well commission the 5,000th op-ed saying that Donald Trump is a moral monster.
Good Lord. And then, by the way, this is being shared out on the Daily Wire by Matt Walsh. And I'm sure fucking Ben Shapiro shared it out as well. Because there's a whole fucking network that just goddamn regurgitates this shit and makes sure that it's trending. That's a good question. Is she a grifter or is she dumb? I think grifter. I mean, she was like an editor at the New York Times. She's probably, highly educated. I'm going to guess grifter. Now, somebody who's just fucking dumb is Benny Johnson. Barry Weiss gave you some shit-ass examples of the world going crazy. I say this is a good example of how the fucking right wing has gone crazy.
Harry here. Harry helped my family come back from our trip in Nashville at the Daily Wire. And Harry,
he probably got COVID.
And he said that he's been a traveling evangelist for his younger life for how many years?
About 40 years.
40 years traveling evangelist, went all over America.
Yeah.
All over America.
So your Uber driver talked to you about God.
Crazy time that we're going through right now where people are stressed, where people are feeling like the world is out of control.
I wanted to play this for you guys because he said every American needs to hear this today.
Harry said some amazing things. I wanted to give him the floor.
All right, well, you don't expect this on your limousine trip, but he was talking about how crazy the world is getting today, and it really is. And I'm 73, and it's probably as crazy as I've ever known it. It gets crazier every day. But the thing that gets me up in the morning and be able to face the day...
You grew up during segregation, you fucking idiot.
God is as big as he says he is, and in spite of all that's going on, God is still in control. It doesn't always look like it. I had a friend years ago that said something stuck with me. It says, with God, when it looks like he's not doing anything, he's doing something. When it looks like nothing's happening with God...
Now, Benny Johnson made this video to share out to his followers and make money, by the way. Make money.
All about it.
God wrote a book where he said, make not my father's house a house of merchandise, but Benny Johnson ain't going to miss an opportunity to get some clicks and some shares.
Tomorrow night I'm ministering in my home church. One of the things I'm talking about is when Jesus was on the boat, he was asleep, and a storm came up. And the lake was not the problem. These fishermen had been on that lake all their lives, fished that lake and lived on it all their lives. The problem was not the water. The problem was when the wind came and stirred up the water. Then Jesus got up. When Jesus got up, limousine driver preaching, son.
He's a preacher.
But they're concerned. They're looking at
That's right.
Hey, nobody wants to work anymore. This limousine driver is fucking talking about some God shit instead of doing his fucking job. I'm glad somebody came up and did. Benny Johnson thought this was going to be fucking good to post, too. I love this. Got interrupted like, hey, dude, do your fucking job.
But when he got up, he rebuked the wind.
I think Jesus is telling you something, sir.
He spoke peace to the lake, the water. We get concerned because we see the stirring in us, and we think that's the problem. There's something that's stirring up that causes that rage inside. So
let's get going now. Get back to work.
Understand there's outside forces, and if we
wow, this video is amazing.
Jesus Christ, then there'll be peace in the waters of our soul.
That is what people want to hear. Peace, the Prince of Peace. That is Jesus. And what are everyone's looking for peace in their lives. Yeah, such a beautiful message. Thank you.
I think somebody's wanting him to get back to his fucking job, and that's what they're looking for.
When you're in Nashville, you call Harry. You'll get a ride, and then you'll get a real ride.
Wow. These people have no fucking shame. No self-awareness whatsoever. That's fucking hilarious. Let's see if we can get even dumber. Here's Candace Owens. Apparently, she took a trip to the metaverse.
Hello and welcome to 2022 and to season 2 of Candace. I hope that everyone had a wonderful Christmas break, that the children got all of the gifts that they wanted. In my house, we celebrate Boxing Day. My husband is English, and that's actually a thing over there. The day after
Amazing!
Kingdom is another bank holiday that's referred to as Boxing Day.
He is really fucking dumb. See, here's the thing about Jesse Lee Peterson, though, is I feel like he might have, like, a mental issue. Like, I feel like he might actually be, like, a stunted in intelligence. And he's making a fortune just saying dumb shit for right-wingers because he's black. It's wild. So I don't know, like, picking on Jesse Lee Peterson is kind of weird. Because I really do feel like he's not all there. Am I wrong on that? Am I wrong for thinking that? Like, Candace is all there. She's just a fucking dumb grifter. She could be doing something else and not be dangerous at all, but like, Jesse Lee Peterson, there's something wrong, I think. And I feel like it's wrong of me to make fun of him. But then again, he has a fucking large audience that he says dumb shit to a lot. And to me, that's amazing.
Sport of boxing anymore. Essentially, it's just a day that you spend with neighbors and friends and you eat leftovers. It's kind of like a Christmas hangover. So for our Christmas hangover, we went to a friend's home and got all the kids together. And this particular friend had purchased a pair of Oculus goggles for his son. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Maybe you've seen the pictures. They are a pair of giant goggles that you wear that allows you to play a video game in a sort of virtual reality. That was the pitch, at least, when they first came out. But when I tried on...
Are you calling Candace Uncle Ruckus?
Day, I realized
it's an apt description.
That it was something entirely different. My experience wasn't a very long one, so I put these glasses on.
You have your pajama top. That's exactly what it looks like.
Incredible how real it looks and it feels. And I pressed a button, and I went
I'd wear that.
To the elevator, and the elevator opened, and I was standing on the top of a building, the tiny little ledge, and I could hear the people around me in the real universe saying, you know, just step out onto the ledge and jump off. And I went, I'm not jumping off of this ledge. There's no way I'm jumping off of this ledge. I mean, I was aware, of course, that in the universe, my feet were on the ground, but seeing is believing. So in this reality, I was convinced that I was actually on top of a building and they were asking me to jump, and I was terrified. I was not going to jump off. I said, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. I tried to inch my way forward, and finally I said, nope, I'm taking these off.
Oh, you were describing Jesse Lee Peterson as Uncle Ruckus.
And then my friend went up next. Pretty much the same process.
That does actually make a lot of sense.
And then my husband thought it would be funny to push my friend, of course, in the universe, just give him a little push. And my friend fell over onto the floor into the universe and screamed, "Ah!" He was genuinely terrified. He took the glasses off.
And somehow this is going to take a turn to attacking trans people.
Actually thought that he was going to die from this little push. And I thought, wow, someone's actually going to die from a heart attack probably, right? I mean, that's how real everything becomes when you put these goggles on. And the person that was hosting us informed us that you actually have to sign a waiver to play because people have already actually died. How's that for a game? Now, why am I telling you this? Because what we're talking about and what I experienced was the coming.
Oh shit! You used to have to like sign a fucking waiver to go see like The Exorcist and shit.
Recently changed their name to Meta. I mean, everybody's talking about the metaverse. There was a tract of virtual land that sold for $4.3 million.
Tell you what, like, there's already a company called Meta, and Facebook like tried to fuck them over, and they're taking Facebook to court. And I hope they win.
Snoop Dogg, the rapper, has a $17 million NFT collection. That's a virtual art collection. What do you do with virtual art? You're probably asking yourselves, well, you put it in a virtual world, in your virtual house, on a virtual plot of land.
Sounds like Snoop Dogg has more money than he knows what to fucking do with.
The more important reason I'm telling you this is because it scared me.
Like you, Snoop Dogg, but like...
It scared me because I felt in my...
That's not going to spare you from the guillotine.
I stumbled upon a missing piece of this authoritarian puzzle. Think about it.
Who is her audience besides people like me or producer Dave?
Somehow it all just perfectly aligns with the coming of the metaverse. Social distancing. People afraid, genuinely afraid to see one another's faces.
Wait. Now the pandemic is a setup for Facebook to do the metaverse?
Just throw on a pair of goggles.
Wow.
Virtually. Come to my house in the virtual world.
Wow.
The never before seen national shutdown of schools to combat COVID. Virtual learning established to combat a virus that has an approximate 0% chance of harming any child. Children made to exist behind masks anyway. Well, what?
No, a 0.00% chance.
Meta existence.
I don't know what the actual number is, so I don't want to actually
put on their goggles and to go to class.
0.004%. Brett Barris said it earlier.
They're actually in a classroom sitting next to their peers because that's how real it feels behind those goggles. Only this time their parents aren't going to have to worry about any germs. There'll be no need for parents to physically go into work anymore either. Just throw on a pair of goggles.
Great. That sounds awesome.
Into your office. Isolation.
Why would you have an office though?
What we're talking about, what I'm trying to communicate to you is that we are on the brink of transhumanism.
Oh, this isn't an attack on trans people.
The computers.
We're transcending humanism.
That the next time you hear words like
we're reaching the singularity.
Biology and
boy howdy, Ray Kurzweil would fuck her mind up, wouldn't he?
Our DNA being fused with technology. What we are on the brink of is the next iteration of the World Wide Web, and it should terrify.
Yeah, she doesn't even know what the this has already been theorized. She's proud of herself. She thought she came up with something fucking new. Ma'am, this ain't fucking new. She's talking about the singularity. Damn. I could show her some shit that would blow her mind. You know what blows my mind? Is people take Elon Musk seriously. Apparently traffic jams are possible in Elon Musk's tunnels. After claims that the Boring Company's Tesla-filled tunnels will solve traffic congestion, the Vegas Loop gets backed up during the CES. I believe that's the Consumer Electronics Showcase or some shit like that. Where's the... I don't see what the acronym is for. Oh well, it's something like that. Here's the video of a Tesla driving into the Hyperloop, which is just a tunnel. It's just a fucking tunnel. It's the dumbest fucking thing.
How fast can you go in here?
40 is the max.
And what happens if you try to go faster?
I'm pretty sure we can, but I believe there's a GPS on this. So
Okay.
the control center will definitely know you're speeding. I haven't tried it, but...
Alright, well then we don't have to try it. Is it boring driving down here with all of this? Oh my, there's a traffic jam.
You know what? When it's busy with new people constantly, it's not too bad. But when it's slow and you're by yourself, it kind of gets a little boring sometimes. Just circling around constantly.
Was he on DMT when he was with Joe Rogan talking about his rocket ship?
Is there often a lot of traffic here?
No, I think what's happening is...
Elon Musk is a complete fucking idiot. If anyone hasn't realized that yet.
They are?
So no one's going to that. So I think what's going on...
He is a fucking rich kid.
Why are they closed?
I don't know. Well, like the building itself isn't closed, just the entrance doors are locked.
This was his idea to solve traffic, was to have a one-lane tunnel. So they've now installed one in Vegas, and this is showing it off.
Yeah, people can still drop you off at the South Hall, but
And you're still picking people up over there.
I need a call.
So it's just a one-lane fucking tunnel. That's just that was his fucking idea.
Not sure. You're coming here, yeah, Central?
Well, what time is it?
There's a movie about it called A Transcendent Man. There's a book as well.
I guess.
It's Ray Kurzweil.
Let's see.
And the singularity is the merger of man and computer. It's stupid. Elon Musk is stupid.
How many of y'all do they have driving today?
I believe, I don't know the exact number, but
Are we running into traffic again?
I believe there's 60, 70 of us.
Can you imagine how expensive it was to construct this tunnel? This is the answer for traffic, ladies and gentlemen, according to Elon Musk. Pulling up on somebody again.
Are you from here or?
No, I'm from Houston.
Oh, we're heading out of the tunnel now.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm staying out on the strip. I rented such a fun car. I decided I was going to drive.
What car did you? Is it a fun car?
BMW.
This is the future.
You know what?
Futuristic idea that Elon Musk
Convertible, and I've been driving.
is considered one of his many fucking stupid ass ideas.
Seats, heated steering wheel. It's a blast.
That some people consider him a genius because of. Is it actually called the Hyperloop, or is that something else? Am I fucking something up? This piece doesn't actually call it a Hyperloop. It's called like the something Las Vegas loop. As I mentioned earlier, now have some indication of why Elon Musk may have wanted to dump some of his Tesla stock. Tesla recalled almost 500,000 electric cars over safety issues. Apparently it amounts to something like 1/7 of all the Tesla cars ever produced have now been recalled. Tesla is recalling more than 475,000 of its Model 3 and Model S electric cars to address rear-view camera and trunk issues that increase the risk of crashing. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has been discussing another camera issue with the automaker while probing the company's driver assist system. The model years affected in the recall range from 2014 to 2021, and the total number of recalled vehicles is almost the equivalent to the 500,000 vehicles Tesla delivered last year. Elon Musk is an idiot. And I do not believe that we should have fucking financed SpaceX because NASA can do it better. Here's what NASA did. The James Webb Telescope has reached a major milestone. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope team fully deployed its 21-foot gold-coated primary mirror, successfully completing the final stage of all major spacecraft deployments to prepare for science operations. A joint effort with the European Space Agency and Canadian Space Agency, the Webb mission will explore every phase of cosmic history, from within our solar system to the most distant observable galaxies in the early universe. We're gonna see into the fucking past because of this motherfucker. That's awesome! Two wings of Webb's primary mirror have been folded to fit inside the nose cone of an Ariane 5 rocket prior to launch. After more than a week of other critical spacecraft deployments, the Webb team began remotely unfolding the hexagonal segments of the primary mirror, the largest ever launched into space. This was a multi-day process, with the first side deployed January 7th and the second side on January 8th. Mission Operations Center ground control at the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore began deploying the second side panel of the mirror at 8:53 a.m. Once it extended and latched into position at 1:17 p.m., the team declared all major deployments successfully completed. Hell fucking yeah. That's some real science. Fuck Elon Musk. Now, here's a butcher that feeds all the fucking stray animals that comes into his butcher shop. And, he'd probably give Maynard some ham. For those of you who don't know, my fucking cat loves goddamn ham. Longs for ham. When I go into the kitchen, I'll just be like, ham. He wants ham right now. Sparkles will tell you all about his fucking ham obsession. Apparently it's not very good for him, so I only give him just a little bit as a treat. Very rare. Looks like, is that cat getting some liver? You better believe all the dogs and the cats are going to hang out at this place. Oh shit, he gonna get him a nice bone. Oh fuck, he get him a bone. Oh shit. Dude, that one dog was gone. He like, you ain't get my bone back. This is absolutely adorable. If I was a butcher, this is the kind of shit I'd be doing. Oh shit. But they love him. They love him. Where's my Smokey? Oh, he's already gone. Oh, he getting him a whole rib. What? He's feeding this cat like a raw hamburger. What? Is that a thing cats like? Line up and wait their fucking turn. I don't know. It could have been ground something else. It just looked like hamburger. Maybe some ground turkey or some shit. Apparently the animals are really into it, and that's all that matters. I know. I want them healthy. I want them to live as long as they can. But also, like, you gotta let the animal do, you know, what the animal want to do. I totally know I'm very likely to die of a heart attack because of the food I consume. I mean, it probably is a little unsanitary, but the kitties and the puppies love it. Stray cats have a horrible life. Stray dogs, they absolutely do. I wish I could take all the fucking animals in. Fucking Smokey and Socks for strays. They never had they had a family that would kind of, feed them and shit, but they were basically stray cats. And I absolutely took them in, and now they sleep in my fucking bed with me every night. I don't even know where they're at right now. Oh, Socks is over there. He's prowling around the food bowls. It's probably about time for me to fill them back up. All right, if you're watching on Twitch, you are heading over to Echoplex Media. Producer Dave and historian Matt are going to take real good care of you. It is the Plex podcast portion of the show. I will be back tomorrow night. Go ahead, light one up. You know what? I don't have a picture. You need an emote of Socrates. That needs to be done. I'm sorry. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We will see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol Live.